Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Speak Snack podcast.
Thank you for joining us.
Can you describe your whole day in English without stopping? From the moment you open your eyes in the morning to the moment you finally go to sleep at night. For many English learners, that sounds like a simple task. But then something happens. You try to speak, and your mind suddenly goes blank. You know many English words. You know basic grammar. You understand simple videos. But when it is time to talk about your real life in English, you freeze.
Yes, and that happens to so many learners. You may know words like breakfast, work, sleep, coffee, exercise, or bed. But when you try to put those words together into one smooth story about your day, it feels much harder than expected. And then you stop. You pause. You feel nervous. And you think, maybe my English is not good enough.
But the truth is, your English can become much stronger with one very simple topic: your daily routine. Because your daily routine is your real life. You already know it. You live it every day. Now, you just need the English to describe it clearly and naturally.
And that is exactly what we are going to practice today. By the end of this episode, you will be able to talk about your day in English with much more confidence. You will learn useful vocabulary, natural expressions, simple sentence patterns, and speaking practice you can use immediately.
So stay with us until the end, because today, your normal day is going to become powerful English practice. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak Snack Podcast, the cozy little place where you can relax, enjoy, and improve your English step by step. I'm Lena.
And I'm Bill. We are so happy you are here with us today.
Today's topic is one of the most useful topics for speaking practice. We are talking about how to describe your daily routine in English.
Yes, this is the kind of English you can really use in real conversations. Maybe you are meeting someone new. Maybe your teacher asks you, "What do you usually do every day?" Maybe you want to practice speaking by yourself at home. This topic helps with all of that.
Exactly. And the best part is this: you do not need difficult English to talk about your daily routine. You need simple English, natural English, clear English.
That's right. A lot of learners think they need big vocabulary to sound good. But actually, if you can say simple things clearly, you already sound much better.
Very true. So in this episode, we are going to listen to a daily routine story, learn important expressions, talk about the difference between similar phrases, and then help you build your own answer.
And of course, we will also have some fun, because learning English should never feel too heavy.
Absolutely. But before we start, take 1 second to like this video, subscribe to Speak Snack Podcast, and leave a comment below telling us one simple thing. What time did you wake up today?
Yes, we want to know, are you an early bird, or are you a proud lover of sleep?
I already know which side you are on, Bill.
I prefer to say I respect sleep deeply.
That is a very polite way to say you love staying in bed.
And I stand by it.
Okay, everyone, let's start with a simple story. This story is about a woman describing her normal daily routine. The first time, just listen and relax. Do not worry if you do not understand every single word. Just follow the story from morning to night.
Yes, Listen for the big picture. How does she start her day? What does she do at work? What does she do in the evening? Ready? Let's listen.
Every day, I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. When my alarm rings, I do not always feel ready to leave my bed. Sometimes I feel very sleepy and I want to close my eyes again for just a few more minutes. But I try not to do that. I try to start my day on time and with a positive attitude. After I wake up, I usually stay in bed for a minute or two. I stretch my arms, take a deep breath, and slowly prepare myself for the day. Then I get up and make my bed. It is a small habit, but it makes a big difference. When my bed is neat, my room looks cleaner and more organized, and I feel like my day has started in a good way. Next, I go to the bathroom. I wash my face with cold water, brush my teeth, and brush my hair. Sometimes I look tired when I see myself in the mirror, especially if I did not sleep enough. But after I wash up, I feel much fresher and more awake. Then I go to the kitchen and prepare breakfast. I usually keep breakfast simple because I do not have a lot of time in the morning. Most days I eat toast and eggs, or sometimes yogurt and fruit. I almost always drink a cup of coffee because coffee helps me wake up fully and gives me energy for the morning. While I eat breakfast, I sometimes check my phone. I may read a few messages, look at the weather, or check my schedule for the day. But I try not to spend too much time on my phone in the morning because I want to stay focused and calm. After breakfast, I get dressed for work. I usually choose something comfortable and practical. I do not like spending too much time deciding what to wear, so I try to keep things simple. Then I put everything I need into my bag, like my phone, my keys, my wallet, and sometimes a notebook or a water bottle. At around 8 a.m., I leave home and go to work. Most of the time, I drive to work, but sometimes I take the bus if traffic is too heavy or if I do not feel like driving. On the way to work, I often listen to music or a podcast. It helps me feel relaxed before the workday begins. I start work at 9 a.m. In the morning, I usually answer emails, check my tasks, and talk to my colleagues. Some mornings are very busy, and I feel like there are too many things to do. Other mornings are calmer, and I can work slowly and carefully. No 2 days are exactly the same, but I always try to do my best. At noon, I take a lunch break. I usually eat something healthy, like rice, vegetables, chicken, fish, or a salad. Sometimes I eat lunch with my colleagues, and we talk about work, family, or funny little things that happen during the day. Sometimes I prefer to eat quietly and enjoy a little peace before going back to work. In the afternoon, I continue working until around 5 p.m. After lunch, I sometimes feel a little tired, especially on busy days. So I usually drink some water, stand up for a few minutes, or walk around a little to help myself feel more awake again. Then I finish the rest of my work. When I finish work, I go home. On some days, I feel energetic, but on other days, I feel tired and just want to rest. Still, I try to do something healthy after work. Sometimes I go for a walk, sometimes I do light exercise at home, and sometimes I stretch for a few minutes. Moving my body helps me feel better, especially after sitting for a long time. In the evening, I have dinner and spend time relaxing. I may cook something simple, or if I am very tired, I might order food or eat leftovers from the day before. After dinner, I like to slow down. I sometimes read a book, watch a short video, listen to music, or talk to my family. I enjoy quiet evenings because they help me feel calm after a busy day. Before bed, I usually wash my face again, brush my teeth, and change into comfortable clothes. Then I put my phone down, turn off the lights, and get into bed. I usually go to bed at around 10:30 p.m. I try to sleep early because I know I will feel better the next morning if I get enough rest. That is my daily routine. It is not exciting or dramatic, but it is a life that feels healthy, balanced, and peaceful to me.
I really like that story. It is simple, but it feels warm and real.
Yes, exactly. It sounds like a real person talking about a real life. And that is very important for English learners. A lot of people try to sound too perfect, but natural English is not about sounding perfect. It is about sounding human.
That is such a good point. And I also like that the routine is not fancy. It is just a normal day. She wakes up, eats breakfast, goes to work, has lunch, comes home, exercises a little, relaxes, and goes to bed. That is everyday English.
Yes, and everyday English is powerful because you can use it again and again in conversation.
Also, I think many listeners can connect with this story. Feeling sleepy in the morning? Very real. Drinking coffee to wake up? Very real. Feeling tired after lunch? Extremely real.
Yes, that part is maybe the most real part of all. Now let's go back and look at the story step by step. We are going to explain the key expressions and show you how to use them naturally.
And we will give you little examples too, because examples make everything easier. Wake up versus get up.
Let's start with one of the most important pairs. Wake up and get up. Many learners confuse these two.
Yes. So let's make it very simple. To wake up means your sleep ends. Your eyes open. You are no longer asleep. To get up means you actually leave your bed.
Exactly. For example, I wake up at 6:30, but I get up at 6:45. That means I open my eyes at 6:30, but I stay in bed for 15 more minutes.
Which, I must say, is a beautiful tradition.
Bill,
I'm just being honest for the listeners.
do you wake up and get up at the same time?
Not always. Sometimes I wake up, look at the ceiling, think about life, and then slowly decide to become a person.
That is a very dramatic way to describe the morning.
Mornings deserve respect. Sleepy.
Then she says, I feel very sleepy.
Sleepy is a very useful word. It means you feel tired and you want to sleep more.
Yes, not sick, not weak, just tired because your body still wants rest. For example, I feel sleepy after lunch. I felt sleepy during the movie. I am still sleepy because I went to bed late.
I use that word all the time, especially when someone talks to me too early in the morning.
So if you look quiet in the morning, are you angry?
No, not angry, just sleepy.
That is an important difference. Positive attitude. She also says she tries to start the day with a positive attitude. That is such a nice expression.
Yes, a positive attitude means you try to think in a hopeful, healthy, or optimistic way. Even if you feel tired, You do not want to start the day with negative energy.
Right. You can say, I try to have a positive attitude at work. She always starts her day with a positive attitude. A positive attitude can change the whole day.
I really believe that. Sometimes the day is not easy. Maybe the weather is bad. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you have a lot to do. But if your mind stays calm, the day feels easier.
Very true. Make my bed. Next, she says, I make my bed.
This means you fix the bed so it looks neat. You straighten the blanket. You put the pillow in place. You make the bed look clean and organized.
Yes, and this is one of those small habits that many people talk about. Some people say making your bed helps you feel more organized and responsible.
Lena, I have a confession.
I already know what this is about.
I do not always make my bed.
I knew it.
Sometimes I am in a hurry. Sometimes I just forget. Sometimes I look at the bed and think, you will see me again tonight.
That is not a strong argument.
It is not strong, but it is honest.
I always make my bed.
Of course you do,
Why are you saying it like that?
because you are one of the organized people of the world. The pillow is straight. The blanket is smooth. The room smells nice.
That is not a bad thing.
No, it is actually impressive. Fresh and clean.
After that, she says she wants to feel fresh and clean.
That is a lovely expression. It sounds simple, but it feels very natural.
Yes, if you feel fresh and clean, you feel comfortable, awake, and ready. For example, I like to shower in the morning so I feel fresh and clean. After washing my face, I feel fresh again.
I think this is one reason many people have a morning routine. Not just to be clean, but to feel ready.
Exactly. Morning habits are not only practical, they also affect your mood. Get dressed. Then she says, I get dressed for work.
That simply means, I put on my clothes.
Yes, very common expression. You can say, I get dressed quickly in the morning. She got dressed and left the house. He is still getting dressed.
And she says she chooses comfortable and practical clothes. I support that decision.
I thought you might.
Life is too short for uncomfortable clothes.
That may be the most useful sentence in today's episode. Leave home and go to work. Then she says, at around 8 a.m., I leave home and go to work.
That is a very good sentence pattern. You can use it easily. I leave home at 7:30. I go to work at 8 o'clock. I leave home early because traffic is heavy.
Yes, and you can change it for school too. I leave home at 7 o'clock and go to school.
Simple, clear, useful. Colleagues.
At work, she talks to her colleagues.
This is an important word. Colleagues means the people you work with.
Yes, it sounds more professional than saying the people at work. For example, I had lunch with my colleagues. My colleagues are very friendly. I talk to my colleagues every day.
I like this word because it is useful in many situations. And if you do not work yet, you can replace it with classmates for school.
Good point. Noon, lunch breaks. Then she says, at noon, I take a lunch break.
Noon means 12 o'clock in the middle of the day.
Exactly. And a lunch break is the time when you stop working to eat lunch and rest a little.
I think lunch break is one of the most important moments of the day.
Really?
Yes, because people become very serious when they are hungry.
That is true.
You can feel it in the air. At 11:58, everyone is trying to be professional. At 12:01, everyone is thinking about food.
That is very realistic. Healthy meal. She says she usually eats something healthy.
A healthy meal is food that is good for your body.
Yes. Vegetables, fruit, fish, chicken, eggs, rice, soup, salad. Things like that.
Not only fries, soda, and cake every day.
Exactly.
Although I must say, cake has emotional value.
Cake can stay. Just maybe not for every lunch. Feel tired? Feel awake. In the afternoon, she says she sometimes feels tired and tries to feel awake again.
This is very useful because many people feel low energy in the afternoon.
Yes, you can say, I feel tired after work. I feel awake after coffee. I splash cold water on my face to feel more awake.
That afternoon sleepy feeling is very common, especially after a big lunch.
That is why some people walk around a little or drink water.
Or look out the window and dream about going home.
That too. Exercise. Go for a walk. Stretch. After work, she says she likes to exercise.
Exercise is one of the best daily routine words because almost everyone understands it.
Yes, and there are many ways to say it. I exercise after work. I go for a walk in the evening. I stretch for 10 minutes. I do yoga at home. I go to the gym twice a week.
I like the phrase, go for a walk. It sounds gentle and natural.
Yes, it does. And if gym English feels too difficult, go for a walk is a perfect simple phrase. Slow down, relax. In the evening, she says she likes to slow down and relax.
That is such an important part of daily routine English too. Because your day is not only work, you also need evening vocabulary.
Exactly. You can say, I relax at home in the evening. I watch videos to relax. I listen to music after dinner. I read before bed.
And I think this is where your English can become more personal. Because everyone relaxes in a different way. Some people cook, some people read, some people watch TV. Some people scroll on their phone and suddenly lose an hour.
That last one is too real. Go to bed. Finally, she says. I go to bed at around 10:30 p.m.
A very useful basic phrase. To go to bed means you go to sleep, or at least prepare to sleep.
Yes. For example, I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock. She went to bed late last night. I need to go to bed earlier.
That last sentence has been my goal for years.
How is that goal going?
Not perfectly.
Okay, Bill, let's make this more personal. Tell me about your real daily routine. What time do you usually wake up?
On weekdays, I usually wake up at around 6:45.
That is not too late.
No, but that is only the first part of the story.
Oh no.
I wake up at 6:45, but I do not always get up immediately. Sometimes I stay in bed for 10 or 15 more minutes. I check the time. I think about the day. I ask myself hard questions like, do I really need to move right now?
And what is the answer?
Sadly, yes.
That is very funny. I usually wake up at 6:15.
You really are a morning person.
I think so, yes. I like early mornings because the world feels quiet. I enjoy that peaceful time before messages, noise, and busy things begin.
That sounds very nice. Do you use an alarm?
Yes, but sometimes I wake up a few minutes before my alarm.
That is a secret power I do not have. If I wake up before my alarm, It is usually by accident, and I am not happy about it.
What is the first thing you do after you get up?
Usually I go to the bathroom, wash my face, and brush my teeth. Then I make coffee. Honestly, coffee is emotionally important to me.
I had a feeling you would say that. Do you eat breakfast right away?
Not always. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I am too slow in the morning and then I realize I need to leave soon.
So what happens then?
Then I eat something very quick. Maybe toast, maybe a banana, maybe yogurt. And on bad mornings, I just drink coffee and hope for the best.
That is not the healthiest plan.
No, but it is a very realistic one. What about you?
I usually have breakfast every morning. I do not like to skip it. Sometimes I eat eggs and toast, sometimes oatmeal, sometimes fruit and yogurt, and I always drink water first.
That sounds very organized.
It helps me feel better. If I skip breakfast, I feel low energy later.
That makes sense. What about getting dressed? Are you quick or does it take time?
Usually I am quick. I do not like to spend a long time choosing clothes in the morning. Simple clothes make life easier.
I agree. The more choices you have in the morning, the more confused you become, especially when you are still half sleepy.
Exactly. One time I was in such a hurry that I almost left the house wearing one black sock and one dark blue sock.
Almost.
Yes, almost. I noticed right before I put on my shoes.
That is lucky. I once wore my shirt backward for a while in the morning.
No.
Yes. I only realized when I looked in the mirror again.
That is amazing.
It was not my proudest morning.
Now let's talk about the next part of the day. Leaving home and going somewhere. This is very useful because many conversations include this.
Yes. You may say, I go to work. I go to school. I take the bus. I drive. I ride my bike. I walk. All of these are great daily routine phrases.
Bill, how do you usually go to work?
Usually by bus, but sometimes I ride my bike.
And do you still wear that bright yellow helmet?
Of course. Safety first.
That helmet is impossible to miss. It is so bright.
That is the point. I want cars to see me. I want people to see me. I want birds to see me.
You probably shine from very far away.
And yet, I feel protected.
That matters. I usually walk when I can, or I drive if I need to get somewhere quickly.
Walking is nice. It gives you a little quiet time before the day begins.
Yes, and it helps clear your mind too. Okay, let's move into the workday. A lot of learners know how to talk about mornings at home, but then they get stuck when it is time to talk about work or school.
Yes, so let's make it easy. Here are some very natural workday actions. I answer emails. I join meetings. I talk to my colleagues. I check my tasks. I finish my work. I take a lunch break.
Very useful. And if you are a student, you can say, I go to class. I study. I take notes. I talk to my classmates. I have lunch at school. I go home after class.
The structure is very similar. So even if the story is about work, students can still use the same pattern.
Exactly. Bill, what is your least favorite part of the morning at work?
Too many emails. When I open my inbox and see many new emails, I feel like the day is already moving fast.
Yes, that can happen. What is your favorite part?
Probably when I talk to good colleagues and the mood is light. A small joke in the morning can really help.
That is true. Good people make a workday feel much easier.
What about you?
I like the feeling of finishing one task and moving to the next. That makes me feel productive.
That is a satisfying feeling.
Yes, a productive day feels good. Let's stay with the middle of the day for a moment. Lunch is a very good topic for speaking practice because almost everyone can talk about it.
Yes. You can talk about what time you eat, where you eat, who you eat with, and what you usually eat.
For example, at noon, I eat lunch with my coworkers. I usually eat at home. I bring lunch from home. I buy lunch near my office. I usually eat rice and vegetables. I like soup for lunch.
Super useful. And here is a natural question. Do you usually eat alone or with other people?
That is a great conversation question. What is your answer?
It depends on the day. Sometimes I eat with other people and it is fun. We talk, laugh, and rest a little. But sometimes I want a quiet lunch. No noise, no big conversation, just food and peace.
That sounds fair. I think many people feel that way. Sometimes social lunch is nice, and sometimes quiet lunch is better.
Exactly. Also, when people are too hungry, conversation becomes less important.
Again, very realistic. Now let's talk about something everybody understands. The afternoon energy drop.
Oh, yes. That moment after lunch when your body says, maybe we should lie down for a little while.
Exactly. This happens to many people, and it is good English practice too. You can say, I feel tired in the afternoon. I lose energy after lunch. I drink water to stay awake. I stand up and walk around. I need a short break.
Sometimes I think the afternoon teaches us humility. In the morning, we have plans. We have hope. We have energy. And then at 2:30 p.m., we are just trying to stay alive.
That is dramatic, but not completely wrong.
Thank you. What do you do when you feel tired in the afternoon?
I usually stand up, walk a little, drink water, and try not to sit in the exact same position too long. Sometimes a short break helps a lot.
Yes, movement helps. Also, opening a window or getting a little fresh air can be nice.
Definitely. Now we come to one of my favorite parts of the day, the evening.
Same here. Evening English is lovely because it feels calmer.
Yes, in the evening, people often use words like dinner, relax, watch TV, read a book, talk to family, listen to music, take a shower, go to bed.
These are very common daily routine phrases, and I think this is where learners can make their speaking more personal and interesting.
I agree, because your evening habits tell people a lot about your lifestyle. Do you go out? Do you stay home? Do you cook? Do you study? Do you rest?
Lena, what do you usually do in the evening?
It depends on the day. If I had a busy day, I like a quiet evening. I usually eat dinner, clean up a little, and then do something relaxing. Sometimes I read. Sometimes I watch something short. Sometimes I just sit and enjoy a calm moment.
That sounds peaceful. I like evenings too, especially when there is no pressure. I like a simple dinner, maybe some music, and then I like to slow down.
Do you usually read before bed?
Sometimes, yes. But sometimes I read 2 pages and realize my eyes are closing.
That still counts.
Thank you for your kindness.
Okay, everyone. Now we are going to help you build your own answer. This is very important. A lot of learners understand the lesson, but then they still do not know how to speak. So, let's build it together.
Yes. Here is an easy structure you can follow. I wake up at, after that I, then I, at around, in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, after work, school, in the evening, before bed. I go to bed at.
That structure is gold. It gives your answer a beginning, middle, and end.
Let me show a simple example. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. After that, I brush my teeth and wash my face. Then I have breakfast and get dressed. At around 8 o'clock, I leave home and go to work. In the morning, I answer emails and talk to my colleagues. At noon, I take a lunch break and eat with my coworkers. In the afternoon, I finish my work and go home at 5 o'clock. After work, I go for a walk. In the evening, I have dinner and relax. Before bed, I brush my teeth and read for a few minutes. I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock.
That is excellent. Simple, clear, and very natural.
And notice something important. I did not use difficult vocabulary. I used easy words well.
Exactly. That is what makes spoken English strong. Now it is your turn. Listen and repeat after us. Say the sentences out loud. Even if your pronunciation is not perfect, that is okay. Just speak.
Ready? Let's go.
I wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
I wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
I usually feel a little sleepy.
I usually feel a little sleepy.
Then I get up and make my bed.
Then I get up and make my bed.
I wash my face and brush my teeth.
I wash my face and brush my teeth.
I have a simple breakfast.
I have a simple breakfast.
I drink coffee and eat eggs.
I drink coffee and eat eggs.
After breakfast, I get dressed for work.
After breakfast, I get dressed for work.
I leave home at 8 o'clock.
I leave home at 8 o'clock.
I start work at 9 o'clock.
I start work at 9 o'clock.
I answer emails and talk to my colleagues.
I answer emails and talk to my colleagues.
At noon, I take a lunch break.
At noon, I take a lunch break.
I usually eat a healthy meal.
I usually eat a healthy meal.
After work, I like to exercise.
After work, I like to exercise.
In the evening, I relax at home.
In the evening, I relax at home.
I usually go to bed at 10:30 p.m.
I usually go to bed at 10:30 p.m.
Very good. Now let's make your English sound even more natural. Many beginners speak like this. I wake up. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. I go to work. I eat lunch. I go home. This is correct, but it sounds very short and a little mechanical.
Yes. To sound more natural, connect your ideas. Use words like after that, then, usually, sometimes, before, because, when, in the morning, in the evening.
Exactly. So instead of saying, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, you can say, I wake up at 6:30, and after that, I brush my teeth and have breakfast.
Much smoother. Here is another one. Instead of saying, I exercise, I feel good, say, after work, I usually exercise because it helps me feel better.
Yes, that is natural English. You're connecting action and reason.
And that makes your speech more interesting, too.
Okay, Bill, let's do a mini conversation. I will ask you normal questions, and you answer naturally.
All right, let's do it.
What time do you usually wake up?
I usually wake up at around 6:45, but I do not always get up right away.
What do you do first in the morning?
First, I wash my face and brush my teeth. Then I make coffee.
Do you always eat breakfast?
Not always. I try to, but sometimes I am in a hurry and eat something quick.
How do you go to work?
Usually I take the bus, but sometimes I ride my bike.
What do you do at work?
In the morning, I answer emails, talk to people, and work on my tasks.
What do you usually do at lunch?
At noon, I take a lunch break and usually eat something simple.
What about after work?
After work, I try to walk or stretch a little, especially if I sat down for a long time.
And what do you do in the evening?
In the evening, I have dinner, relax, and sometimes read before bed.
Perfect. That is exactly the kind of answer our listeners should practice.
Yes. Not too hard, not too fancy, just natural.
Now that you understand the vocabulary and the sentence patterns, let's listen to the story one more time. This time, try to notice the order of the day. Morning, breakfast, work, lunch, afternoon, evening, bedtime.
And listen for the small connecting words too. Those words make English sound smooth. Let's listen again.
Every day, I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. When my alarm rings, I do not always feel ready to leave my bed. Sometimes I feel very sleepy, and I want to close my eyes again for just a few more minutes. But I try not to do that. I try to start my day on time and with a positive attitude. After I wake up, I usually stay in bed for a minute or two. I stretch my arms, take a deep breath, and slowly prepare myself for the day. Then I get up and make my bed. It is a small habit, but it makes a big difference. When my bed is neat, my room looks cleaner and more organized, and I feel like my day has started in a good way. Next, I go to the bathroom. I wash my face with cold water, brush my teeth, and brush my hair. Sometimes I look tired when I see myself in the mirror, especially if I did not sleep enough. But after I wash up, I feel much fresher and more awake. Then I go to the kitchen and prepare breakfast. I usually keep breakfast simple because I do not have a lot of time in the morning. Most days I eat toast and eggs, or sometimes yogurt and fruit. I almost always drink a cup of coffee because coffee helps me wake up fully and gives me energy for the morning. While I eat breakfast, I sometimes check my phone. I may read a few messages, look at the weather, or check my schedule for the day. But I try not to spend too much time on my phone in the morning because I want to stay focused and calm. After breakfast, I get dressed for work. I usually choose something comfortable and practical. I do not like spending too much time deciding what to wear, so I try to keep things simple. Then I put everything I need into my bag, like my phone, my keys, my wallet, and sometimes a notebook or a water bottle. At around 8 a.m., I leave home and go to work. Most of the time, I drive to work, but sometimes I take the bus if traffic is too heavy or if I do not feel like driving. On the way to work, I often listen to music or a podcast. It helps me feel relaxed before the workday begins. I start work at 9 a.m. In the morning, I usually answer emails, check my tasks, and talk to my colleagues. Some mornings are very busy, and I feel like there are too many things to do. Other mornings are calmer, and I can work slowly and carefully. No 2 days are exactly the same, but I always try to do my best. At noon, I take a lunch break. I usually eat something healthy like rice, vegetables, chicken, fish, or a salad. Sometimes I eat lunch with my colleagues and we talk about work, family, or funny little things that happen during the day. Sometimes I prefer to eat quietly and enjoy a little peace before going back to work. In the afternoon, I continue working until around 5 p.m. After lunch, I sometimes feel a little tired, especially on busy days. So I usually drink some water, stand up for a few minutes, or walk around a little to help myself feel more awake again. Then I finish the rest of my work. When I finish work, I go home. On some days, I feel energetic, but on other days, I feel tired and just want to rest. Still, I try to do something healthy after work. Sometimes I go for a walk. Sometimes I do light exercise at home. And sometimes I stretch for a few minutes. Moving my body helps me feel better, especially after sitting for a long time. In the evening, I have dinner and spend time relaxing. I may cook something simple, or if I am very tired, I might order food or eat leftovers from the day before. After dinner, I like to slow down. I sometimes read a book, watch a short video, listen to music, or talk to my family. I enjoy quiet evenings because they help me feel calm after a busy day. Before bed, I usually wash my face again, brush my teeth, and change into comfortable clothes. Then I put my phone down, turn off the lights, and get into bed. I usually go to bed at around 10:30 p.m. I try to sleep early because I know I will feel better the next morning if I get enough rest. That is my daily routine. It is not exciting or dramatic, but it is a life that feels healthy, balanced, and peaceful to me.
That sounds much easier the second time.
Yes, because now the words feel familiar. Let's do a quick recap together.
Today we learned
Wake up, open your eyes, and stop sleeping.
get up, leave your bed,
Sleepy, tired and wanting more sleep.
positive attitude, a good and hopeful way of thinking,
Make my bed. Make the bed neat and tidy.
fresh and clean, feeling clean, comfortable, and ready.
Get dressed. Put on clothes.
Colleagues, the people you work with.
Noon. 12 o'clock in the middle of the day.
Lunch break. Time to stop work and eat lunch.
Healthy meal. Food that is good for your body.
Exercise. Physical activity for health.
Relax. Rest and feel calm.
Go to bed. Get into bed to sleep.
And here is the biggest lesson from today. You do not need perfect English to talk about your daily routine. You just need simple words, clear sentences, and practice.
Yes, your daily life may seem normal to you, but it is one of the best topics for speaking practice because you already know the content. You know what time you wake up. You know what you eat. You know how you go to work or school. You know what you do in the evening. Now you just need to say it in English.
So here is your challenge for today. After this episode, try to describe your whole day in English out loud. Not in your head, out loud. Even if it is only for 1 minute.
Use this simple pattern. I wake up at, then I, after that I, at noon, in the afternoon, in the evening, before bed. I go to bed at.
If you practice this again and again, your speaking will become much smoother.
And one day, talking about your life in English will feel normal. Not scary, not stressful, just natural.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today on Speak Snack Podcast.
We hope this lesson helped you feel more confident about speaking English in a simple and natural way.
Now tell us in the comments, what time do you usually wake up? And what is the first thing you do every morning?
And also tell us something important. Do you make your bed every day? Or are you secretly on my side?
Please choose the responsible side.
Please choose honesty.
Fair enough. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who is learning English too.
Keep practicing a little every day. Small practice becomes strong English.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all for listening. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.